All right, so as we have discussed here, as you're finishing up, the first few lessons here are kind of baby steps, if you will, leading into more difficult ones. This one is going to start that. Still going to continue writing in factored, but now not everything's going to be positive or negative. Now you're going to have to decide which signs to use, and a lot of that is going to be trial and error. It's going to be questions like the first one. It says the product of two integers is 2 and negative 6 is negative 12. List all the other options that would give us negative 12. So two numbers to multiply together to give you negative 12. 6 and negative 2 would give you negative 12. 4 and negative 3. Negative 4 and 3. 1 and negative 12. Negative 12 and 1. So you can see there are a lot of different options there. Same is going to be true for factoring. A lot of different ways to get that constant number. In this case, negative 12. Those would all give us different middle terms. So there's 6 different possibilities. It says, of the pairs you found, list all the pairs that have a positive sum. Okay, that means when I add them together, I will get a positive number. So of those 6, we'll just label them here. The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Which ones would have a positive number if I add them up? 1 would. Nope, it would not. If I add those up, I would get negative 4. I'm counting the one they gave us as number 1.
Oh, I meant 6 and negative
2. Okay, I'm going to call that number 2.
Okay.
And that would give us a sum of 4. 6 plus negative 2 is 4. Which other ones? 3 would. What would I get if I add those up? 1. Well, I wrote down the same thing. I'll call it 6. I had to get 11. Okay, so again, if that were my factors, there's 3 different positive middle terms I could get. And then the last one, there's 3 negative terms I would get. Number 1 would give me negative 4 if I add those up. Number 4 would give me negative 1. And number 5 would give me negative 11. Notice it's the same numbers, just negative. But still, 6 possible middle terms you could get factored. Okay, we're going to see that again. It says these expressions are like the ones we have seen before. Okay, these ones we've done. Let's FOIL this. What am I going to get? X squared plus 11x plus 30. 5 and 6 make 11. Amy, you jotting these down? Now let's do the opposite. Let's factor this one. So factors of 30 that add up to 13. Got it? Factors of 30 that add up to 13. 10 and 3. Okay, again, notice that both of those are positive. Okay, we covered that. Nothing new there, Jordan. How about if I FOIL this one? Or use a diagram?
X squared minus 9 plus 18.
Factors of 18 that add up to 11. 1 and 18, 2 and 9, 3 and 6,
2 and 9.
2 and 9. Okay, notice how both of those are negative. Notice it was factors of 30 for both. Just different middle terms. This one, factors of 18 for both. Yes, Georgia.
Can you, I think the answer is no, but can you ever have like an x minus something and then an x plus something?
That's coming today. That is coming today. In fact, right now. Says these are not like ones you have done before. Okay, Georgia, here's what you're referring to. This number has never been negative.
Yeah.
Foil the top one. Watch your signs. Got it, Ken?
I think so.
What do you got?
X squared plus 9x plus 36.
Minus 36. 12 times negative 3. All right, so we've never factored one like this before, but if that last term is negative, okay, the only way to get a negative, obviously, is not two positives. It's not two negatives, it's one of each. So we haven't had one like that yet. So now I gotta watch my signs. I'm looking for factors of 36 that differ by 9. Yeah, right here you knew it was 9 here, right? 12 and 3. Now what's the difference?
It's minus 9x.
So that means the bigger number has to go with the negative. So it's negative 12 plus 3. It's negative 9. Notice how the signs make a big difference. Just one sign different.
Does the x plus have to go before the x minus?
Does not. The order you write those in does not matter. So now I'm looking for factors of 36 that differ by 35. Not add up to 35, they differ by 35. That's an easy one, right?
36 and 1.
36 and 1. Now which one gets the negative?
1. Or not 36.
The bigger number gets the negative because your middle term is a negative. And if you can't see that, you try it and you foil it. You guess. Because I can foil this and see if I got the correct answer. Okay, guess and check will always work. 36, you have a lot of possibilities. 1 and 36, 2, 18, 3, 12, 4, 9, 6, and 6. How about the last one?
Just
So
flip
36
them.
goes first. And then 1.
Now the middle term is positive, so your bigger number is positive. Questions on that?
So whatever the bigger number is,
That sign goes with the bigger number. I'm looking at the middle term. It's a positive 9. That means my bigger term gets a positive. Again, this is only if this last number is a negative, though. And they're all the same. Last term's negative, they're all going to be like that. Okay, so when you look at these, you can practice. Okay, so if I have 100, what are some ways I can get a positive number here? Okay, so again, just everything positive. Give me some numbers that I can multiply that would give me 100. 10 and 10. What would my middle term be then? if the factor 1 was 10 and factor b was 10, what would my middle term be? What's that? 20. 10 plus 10 is 20. My middle term would have been 20x, right? That's what it's asking. Other factors. 50 and 2. Would add up to 52. 25 and 4. What would they add up to? Now, I'm not going to write 4 and 25 because that'd be the same thing, right? But there are a couple more here. 20 and 5, what would they add up to?
25.
One more. Easiest one.
1 in 100.
What do they add up to?
Already answered there, Caleb.
Probably not.
Okay, so that's what should be going through your head when you see 100 here. What are my possibilities? Okay, now how about if I wanted a negative b, a negative in the middle?
Why doesn't it have to be positive?
Now, if this is positive, the only way to get a positive and have a middle negative term is if they're both minus. Right? There's no other way to get a positive here. George, remember this has to be negative right here if you're going to use one of each. So it's simply, well, negative 10 and negative 10 would give me negative 20. I might as well go in the same order. Negative 50 and negative 2. Negative 25, negative 4. You can see we're just copying the one in front of it. Everything's just negative. Hey, that's old stuff. That's the stuff we talked about before today. Again, the last number is positive. Okay, now here it differs. Next page. This is the new stuff. How do I know? Because that's minus. Okay, that's the key. Now, if that's minus and the middle term is positive, that means the bigger number has to be positive. All right, so I'm going to use my same factors, and I'm going to make the bigger one positive.
Why not the tinier one?
48.
Because it wants the middle term to be positive. So when I add these two up, my answer has to be positive. Another one?
101. 100 negative 1.
What about 10?
Wait, no.
That would be 0. That's why it's not on there. 100 plus negative 1? 25 negative 4? 20 and negative 5. Add those up in the right column. Some people mention 10, negative 10. That would give you 0. Technically, that's not positive or negative, so it's not going on my list. Shouldn't need to use a calculator for this. 100 minus 1 is 25 minus 4. 20 minus 5. Done. Okay, now if it's negative, if the middle term is negative, that means your bigger number must be negative. Same factors, bigger number is negative. Add them up.
I'm writing them down.
Jackson?
Negative 48, negative 99, negative 21, negative 15.
All right, Georgia, you mentioned the zero factor. I get 0 B's. 10 and negative 10. Add up and get 0. Only one. All right, let's try a few. First one. What are my signs of my factored terms going to be? Both have to be negative. Again, the last term is positive, the middle is negative. That's what we learned about last week. That one is not new. Okay, go ahead and see if you can factor it. Anybody think they have it? Jackson? 20 and 5. Multiply together to give you 100. Add up to 25. Again, that's just a sign pattern we told you last week. If the trinomial is negative and positive, these are both minus every single time. B. Notice the next 3. Have a minus on the last term. That should be a hint that we have one of each. See if you can handle that one. Actually, try the next 3. Remember, we factored 100 up above. You can use all those numbers. Should be easy to see in your chart how we get a negative 15, positive 15, and a 99. You figured all that out already. Samira, got any? What do you got? 99, right? Well, you found that out right here. You knew it was going to be positive 100, negative 1. Positive 15. You have the answer right here?
Positive 20,
You have it right here. Negative 15. And again, the order you have those in does not matter, but it does matter what's positive and what's negative. And again, even if you have no idea what you're doing, you foil it and check it. You trial and error. Sometimes it's frustrating because it feels like you try every set but the one that it is. That just happens. Okay, the more you do, the better you'll get. So it says, how many different integers on the Are You Ready can you find so that this expression can be written in factored form? So basically I'm looking for what number can go at the end that would add up to 10.
Well, 5 and 5. About 25.
5 and 5. So 25 is a choice. 2 and 5 do not add up to 10.
Oh.
10 and 1.
Sorry.
10 and 1 does not add up to 10.
Oh, 10.
9 and 1.
11 negative
8 and 2. So that would be 16 at the end. That would add up to 10.
1. 11 negative
9 and 1. I heard somebody say. What'd you say last?
1. 11 negative 1.
11, negative 1. That would be negative 11. Four or six. 50 and negative 40. It's an infinite amount. Come up with all kinds of stuff forever to get to positive 10. Okay, any questions? So the new stuff today, guys, is when that last number is negative. You will get one of each in your factored form. One of each. Take a look at your homework starting on page 209. 1 is not multiple choice. That's just like what we did today. 2 says draw a diagram, please. So please diagram that one. 3 are just writing in the signs. Okay, 3 will tell you if you really know what you're doing or not with the positives and the negatives. Just plus or minus in the boxes there. 4 is match. 5 you're factoring. Not multiple choice. 6 is multiple choice. 7 a review from graphing. I think you can handle that. 8 and 9, watch the word explain. Not just one word answers. Why? I think just 1 through 9 for tomorrow.